I don't think this video is going to be long at all. It's not going to be long. This video is going to be useful if you are thinking about becoming a mom someday, getting married, you're a new mom, you're pregnant, or you have young children. I think that is going to be useful. I think that most of my videos have been very, let me teach you how. But I think I want to share a little bit more about myself, my journey, my experiences. I can be a very cagey person. I can be very secretive. And not only because I just like my personal things personal in a sense. I think maybe it's also because of fear of judgment, maybe a little bit of shame. Maybe I'm judging myself or where I'm at or what I'm doing, or I feel like people are going to judge me. Maybe I feel like I don't know. I don't know, but I don't think like it's all positive as to why I don't share like some details that I think I could. And I think I want to be more human with you guys, you know. And it's not as if I want to be telling you all of my life story, but I honestly think that there are things that happen in my life, in anyone's life, that can help somebody else, either with insights, either with knowing what to do, either with having clarity. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. So let me jump right into it. So recently, I've been taking stock of my journey as a mother, and I was thinking to myself, like, I was looking back at some old photos. So if you have Amazon photos, they tend to give you like throwback photos. So like I've been looking at um January, February, we're in February now. So February photos from 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, and just kind of looking at the girl that I was, the woman that I'm becoming, and the woman that I am now, and the happiness in my eyes, the fear in my eyes, joy in my eyes, tears in my eyes, just looking at different versions of me. And I've just been thinking about, motherhood. And what I simply want to share is that when I was pregnant, I wasn't like ready. So I wasn't like looking to be pregnant. I felt how do you fall pregnant? Yeah, you might ask, but I'm sorry, I can't show you. I fell pregnant. Just take it like that. I was distraught a little bit. Uh, because a lot of the things that I've heard about becoming a mom were really, really scary. And not because people were trying to scare me, they were just sharing their experiences. And I guess what I took from a lot of their experience was this is something to be afraid of. This is something that will change your life. That part is true. So I was kind of worried. I was worried that, I mean, I was doing well for myself. I could afford having a child, at least to the best of my knowledge. Somebody else might see and say that this is not enough, but for me, I could afford being a mom. And but there was just a lot of fear. There was just a lot of distrust. I don't know, all the wrong seeds. Let's just say all the wrong seeds of the things that I heard, they grew so quickly when I found out that I was pregnant. I started having a lot of fear. I struggled with doubts. I struggled with my relationship with God. And coupled with the fact that I moved to the UK and the noise about how the UK is horrible and how there's no, is like the life here is terrible and you can't be prosperous, you can't do well, you can't this, you can't that, you have to do menial jobs, you have to do this, you have to do that. The talk was so loud and it was so much around me that even though I was in a very different position, I struggled mentally. And I didn't have the capacity at the time to realize that look, switch off what you're hearing, shut the door, reduce the volume. I didn't have that wisdom at the time. It wasn't forefront to me because obviously I wasn't spending time with God. That's the only reason why. And I struggled. All that I've said is to say that when I found out that I was pregnant, at first I was terrified, but then you pick up yourself, you say, okay, I can do this, and in my mind, there was just this 16-year-old. I just felt like a 16-year-old girl that was pregnant. That was my reality in my head. And then I moved here. It was challenging. The first couple of months was challenging because if you move to the UK, you know that getting an apartment of your own, settling down, if you don't have, well, how do I say this? If you don't have the best support system already waiting for you, it's going to be really, really challenging. And it was very challenging emotionally for me and my husband. And yeah, I was not in a great place. I wasn't happy. At some points, I was worried that will this child come out and be okay because of how unhappy and depressed and sad and how much of a garbage my mind was. I legit was worried because I would see like content around, your stress level or depression, how it affects the baby and things like that. Anyway, what I'm trying to get to is if you are in that phase, or if you, God forbid, find yourself in that place where you're pregnant and maybe baby daddy is nowhere to be found. That was not the case for me, but if that is the case for you and you are terrified, you are scared, you are alone, you don't know what to do, and whatever the situation is, you are pregnant, you are ready, daddy is there as well, but you are still worried, you are still scared. How am I going to raise this child? What kind of mom am I going to be? Hey, I don't know things. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I had a lot of I don't knows, and I didn't know. But what I'm trying to tell you is that plenty of us have didn't know too. Like so many of us go into motherhood and really don't know. We have no clarity on the how. Some people is well planned. They like literally plan it. And even with their planning, they still have challenges, they still have doubts, they still have struggles, concerns about how they're going to raise their child and all of that. I mean, the world is a crazy place. What I realized when I was looking at my pictures from 2023, 2024, 2025, and looking at now and just having that bird's eye view over the journey so far is the fact that when the Bible says God Himself will be your children's teachers, I think that God Himself, what that means, or how I saw that play out for me, or how I'm seeing that play out for me, is that God is teaching me how to raise my children. God is teaching me how to be a mother. So, God is not going to come down and physically teach my kids. He's going to teach through the people and the things around him. And I'm his primary, teacher at this time. So I think that what that like really opened my eyes to see that God had plans for the how, for the limitations of the individual so you become a parent. You're still just a girl, you're still just a boy, and God sees that, God understands that. And I think He's made provision already, and He's saying, look, don't worry about it. I myself will be their teacher. Of course, you have to collaborate for that to happen, but there is provision. And there was something one of my friends said that her mom told her, which keeps playing in my head. And it says, when a child is born, a mother is born, a father is born as well. So there is like this provision of new strength. sense. It's almost like God already understands that in yourself as you are, you cannot. So there's a shift that happens spiritually. You can't see it, but there's a shift that happens. And even though the shift happens with a lot of sleepless nights, stress, because obviously the old wine skin is not used to the new wine that is coming. So there has to be a stretching, there has to be a process, there has to be a new birthing, there has to be something that then comes forth and is ready for the new wine skin. But what I'm just trying to say in all of this, before I ramble on and on and on and on, is if you find yourself wondering, how am I going to raise these children? What I want to tell you is God Himself will teach your children. God will teach you how to be a mother. God will teach you how to be a father. God will teach you how to be a parent. God will teach you what steps to take. You will just see that God is leading your every action. Even your mistakes will line up for the better of that child. So trust that you have a father who is also a teacher. Don't forget, as God is teaching them, God is also teaching you too. You are also His child. So He's going to teach you, and then He's going to teach them through you. So that's all I have to say today. Very simple and sweet. But what I want to ask you now is for you to like, to leave a comment, to share, and if you're not subscribed, to subscribe. And then today is Wednesday. That means that I'm filming this video on Wednesday. So that means that I went swimming, and swimming is the one thing that I do for myself as a mom. That is my gift to myself every week. And when I swim, I'm like super calm. My nervous system is like relaxed. So my muscles are completely relaxed. So I feel very relaxed. Feeling a little bit sleepy even right now. So that's all. I just wanted to chit chat and tell you that God Himself will teach your children. So don't worry. I know you can't see it. But one thing I want to remind you today is that feelings don't always reflect reality and don't always reflect the truth and the fact that we live in as children of God. If you are a parent in this phase right now and you just don't know how you're going to survive as a parent, make sure that you like, you share, you subscribe, and you join the community by following me on Instagram. And if you would like to just have a conversation, someone to just talk to or vent to, this is my email. Feel free to send me a message and I will respond as soon as I can. You've got this. I know it doesn't feel like this, but we've got this. We're together in it now. Yes, I'm with you in it. We're together in this now. And it's going to end beautifully. I know that. So, see you in my next video. Bye.